Hello folks, welcome to another daily. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to say Bitcoin or reg market. Let's say reg market. Analysis by Inspocrypto. Why reg market today? I mean, everything looks good, doesn't it? And maybe that's the problem. You remember just few days ago, it's just maybe almost 1 week, a lot of actors who were extremely bearish on crypto, in particular Bitcoin, has flipped like the IMF says government shouldn't ban crypto outright. IMF? You remember IMF? IMF was extremely bearish on Bitcoin, so what happened? And I have said I need to figure out what is happening. Why are they changing their mind? Because usually when they say something bearish on an asset, then because they define it as threat, conflict for their interests, and so on and so forth. But when they changed their opinion, something happened. The asset changed some parameters and neutralized, for example, their conflicts, or it's not a threat anymore. Then the question is, what changed related to Bitcoin and crypto in general? I didn't find anything. The only thing is a trust ETF, and a spot trust. And I'm saying spot trust because the application of BlackRock says trust. It doesn't say ETF. You will not find ETF in this document. I have checked the document. I didn't find ETF in their document, in their application. So businessinsider.com just published June 21st with a head title BlackRock applied to launch a Bitcoin fund. Then came the conspiracy theories. It's about more that it's not an ETF, it's a trust. It's a difference. Even some mechanisms are looking similar, but it's a trust. It's not an ETF. While everyone is talking about a spot Bitcoin ETF. And that's just two different things. But anyway, we are not going to discuss. We have discussed about that so many times. We don't need to talk about that anymore. But it seems also based on this article is that they are trying to bring own tokenized assets on the table, also be related with blockchains and even fork projects related to Bitcoin and maybe other blockchain tokens. But also stablecoins, as we know, they have a cooperation with Circle and USDC. Oh, what? Yeah, we remember, right? USDC, you remember that. Okay, so let us go forward because everything is showing more and more clear why the establishment changed its mind related to Bitcoin and crypto. And if you think it's bullish, I will explain you a little bit the context. You can decide if it's bullish or not. I'm here absolutely unbiased. I'm just going to offer you one scenario or giving you a lot of information, and you can try to make your own scenario if you can do it. I hope you can, because I have some. It's not bullish, but maybe you will say, well, that's you, Inspo. You are never bullish. Something that's not true, but however, let us start. BlackRock, Circle, USDC. Interesting. Really interesting. Who is the custodian company or bank that have all these USDC. That's BNY Mellon. That's former big owner of BlackRock. And they also holds the US Treasury bonds for the USDCs. Just as collateral. That's fine. I mean, at least, and that's why I like Circle and USDC much better than USDT crap, because it's for me just crap. I mean, Paulo can tweet like, I was once again after a while just outside, yeah, and some asked me, why are you not just making some attestation? Oh, did you know our webpage? Blah, 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 blah. Come on, shut up, Paolo. You are, I could have a list of names for you. Really. Also, if you want in Italian, I wouldn't care a lot. But that's a clown show, what you are doing. We don't demand any attestation, because no one can prove that the data that you are giving to the audit company that is making this attestation is the right one. We want a certified audit. And you will never do it. You did it. You said that in a radio interview. We are not going to do it. This market is unregulated. It's not required, so we are not going to do it. We don't care if people are demanding it. And you did it. You said that. So let us play fair. Okay? You are fooling people. But that's another question, and that's another thing. You and your other guy with the German surname, however. BlackRock. BlackRock, because we are so bullish on BlackRock. We have a queue of spot ETF application. We had that already. The only thing is BlackRock just was the first one in 2023 to make this step. But no one is asking why. Why now? What happened? What changed? What's the reason that BlackRock now just applied? And EMI said, I don't think they will get its spot trust license. Maybe. I'm wrong. Because now, with the information I have, I think it would make sense to receive that. The question is, who is the big institution that will have the biggest profit on it? Because it's always about profit. And as mentioned in the initiation of this analysis, always when someone is changing its mind, something happened. And the question is what? Well, we have some coincidences. First of all, as mentioned, BNY Mellon, the biggest bank in the US, who is not only offering custodian services for Circle, but it's going to also provide custodian services for BlackRock, for its Bitcoin. So as you know, I'm working in the banking sector. And everything started when I was reading about the coming Basel III rules. You remember that the International Bank of Settlement, the IBS, so the central bank of the central banks, did some studies, and they said, well, I mean, we are no, and that's something I have said so many times, they are not extremely bearish on crypto. No, not really. But yes, a little bit. Maybe bigger. But that's the next step. So Basel III, we have Basel I, we have Basel II, we have Basel III, so it means they are creating some rules for the banks, how to manage and control its liquidity, how to, all these threats and, threats almost that they identified on the banking system just to neutralize them. So Basel III in particular related to crypto, not only to crypto because it can happen also to gold, for example, but If you as a bank wants to hold Bitcoin, you need the same amount in US dollars as well as collateral. So it's not possible just to have 10 Bitcoins there. Just imagine you have 10,000 Bitcoins in your wallet and you decide, hey, do you know what? I go tomorrow to BNY Mellon and they will kiss my feet. And you will go there and they will surprise you because they will say, no. And you will say, are you stupid? I'm a millionaire. I have a lot of Bitcoins. And they will say, yeah, that's fine for you. But we need to block our liquidity just to hold your fucking Bitcoins. So it doesn't make sense. But we can fix that. Well, not we, but the Fed is going to fix that. Did you hear about the Fed now? A Fed now is a cool thing. It smells like PayPal for central banks. And I guess it is something like that. Because the Fed said, yeah, 2008 was a really nightmare. We had liquidity issues and they triggered a chain reaction. That's something we need to fix as soon as possible. So we are going to launch the Fed Now. The Fed Now is a communication platform where banks, American banks can, well, not only them, I guess, because we know they have another program that gives I just was looking for the word foreign central banks to use their US Treasury bonds as collateral and to receive US dollars instead. You remember I have said, that smells like currency war with the rest, BRICS, who are just going to bake their currencies with gold. The US is saying, we don't care. But at the same time, if you're losing strength in your currency, Saudi Arabia just saying fuck off, Venezuela saying fuck off, and many other countries now, even African nations saying fuck off, we are going to dump our US dollar, means obviously less demand, price will go down, means less strength, problem for your currency. Everything will cost more. Because, otherwise, you need to create a mechanism like the petrodollar in the past that maintains your currency with a high demand, international demand. So now let us go back. Fed Now. What is Fed Now going to do? Well, what the Fed Now or the Fed is introducing Fed Now as. The Fed Now service is a new instant payment infrastructure developed by the Federal Reserve that allows financial institutions of every size across the US to provide safe and efficient instant payment services. In my opinion, they are now, of course, because every project starts at home, and then if you see it works very well, you can expand it. Through financial institutions participating in the Fed Now service, businesses and individuals can send and receive instant payments in real time, around the clock, every day of the year. Financial institutions and their service providers can use the service to provide innovative instant payment services to customers, and recipients will have full access to funds immediately, allowing for greater financial flexibility when making time-sensitive payments. The Fed Now service will be deployed in phases, with the initial launch taking place July 2023. What? July 2023? Hey, that's around the corner. I mean, we are end of June. That's interesting. Instant payment. Did I say that sounds like PayPal? Well, it's, PayPal for banks and financial institutions. Isn't that cool? Just in few weeks, We can just pump the market whenever we want. We don't need to sell US Treasury bonds or whatever. We can just click, 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 click. And that's it. That's great. But wait. That's one scenario. I will go to the next one. Because don't forget, if you want to have Bitcoins in the bank has as collateral to bake all these Bitcoins with US dollars. So if the Fed is going directly in real time to pump money in or take money out, that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Well, let us go just more. Because it would be in case of a really bullish scenario for crypto. Just imagine if you are going to the bank and the biggest bank in the US is saying, no, I don't want your fucking Bitcoins because I have to block liquidity, but hey, we have Fed, no. How much? Oh yeah, that's okay. That's okay. If you pay some fees to cover all my costs, plus an administration fee, plus, well, however it will cost, it's not going to be cheap, but it's in real time. It doesn't matter if it's Sunday, it's Saturday, it's Friday, it's Thursday, it's holiday, it's birthday, it's whatever. That's bullish. That's bullish. I can tell you why. Because if you're bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, and banks has to deposit the same value in US dollars, hell yes! Buy Bitcoin! Buy Ethereum! Buy whatever you want! Come on, guys! But wait. Something smells a little bit strange. I mean, if that's now bullish, why it wasn't just a few months ago? I mean, FedNow is a project that didn't initiate it just yesterday. They didn't say, hey, do you know what, Jay? I have a great idea. What? We should launch PayPal as a central bank. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. Let us check GitHub. Oh, look. We can copy paste. That's PayPal, isn't it? Yeah, that's great. Come on, let us do it. Yeah, okay. Let us launch FedNow in July. We will test a little bit. That's it. No, that takes years. That takes years. Infrastructure, security, role management, so ISM. At the moment, that's my big task in the banking sector is IT security and so on and so forth. So obviously, that takes a lot of time. But they decided now to flip and to say, oh, no, we are bullish on crypto. Yes, stablecoin. What's that, Jay? Just a few days ago, stablecoins are similar to money. What? That's the first time you said that. But now I get it. Yeah, of course, you're right. You're good. I mean, if you need to bake your stablecoins with US dollars, of course it's something similar. I mean, if you say that every fucking apple I need to buy in the fruit shop has to be baked by a US dollar, even apples could be something similar like money, right? And that's great. So, yeah, funny, isn't it? It is funny. But what happened with inflation? We remember we had some problems. So, in case of, just imagine, in case of we need to reduce the circulating liquidity of US dollars, what will happen then? I mean, first of all, what it's saying is that the Fed is going to control in real time money liquidity. That's something where we could say, yeah, it changed a little bit. I mean, they did it. Yeah, but, the same big bank that is providing custodian services for Circle and will do for the spot trust of BlackRock is the same bank that is leading the pilot project for CBDCs. Oh, did I say CBDCs? You remember what CBDCs is? The digital US dollar? Where, I mean, some people say a lot of conspiracies theory behind, because, you know, some people are saying it's Klaus Schwab who is just going to control the world with a digital whatever, euro, US dollar, whatever. Everything is possible. I mean, to be honest, I can imagine, and I know because, you know, my family came from Germany, and I know that the father of my grandfather died. It was a German Jew and died in the very close to Prague, while his child just escaped. He didn't, because he said, that's not going to happen. Hitler, yeah, one politician more, but nothing will happen. Everything what he is saying is blah, 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 blah. Okay, he was lucky in a very worse situation, because when the Gestapo was this, you know, the killers of Adolf Hitler, they wanted just to catch him in Prague. He was escaped and hidden in a flat. He got a heart attack just close before they catched him and arrested him, because otherwise, you know, he was on the list, concentration camp, and the whole process. So anyway, it's really interesting to see that we have here now a nice network. We have Fed now that's going to come in July. We have Basel III that Jay also announced is going to be realized soon. We have a bank that is involved big in crypto, USDC Circle, in Bitcoin, BlackRock, Spot Trust, and leading the pilot project for the CBDC. Obviously, that's something bullish, isn't it? That's bullish, because indirectly means as well that the Fed is going just to control Bitcoin and the crypto industry as well. Because they can do whatever they want. They can, obviously, also banks will have a nice interest to have a good communication with Fed. Obviously, it will. And we can talk about who is the boss here. It's the Fed, it's the big bank, or whatever. But we are talking about three actors that are just constructing something that smells like shit. And when something smells like shit, and when something looks like shit, usually it's not a donut. Just to make it clear, it's not a sweetie, tasty donut. It's not. It's usually really, really ugly. Because Bitcoin decentralized will depend on CBDCs that's full controlled by the Fed and pumped with Fed now. Let me think. That's not cool. While, I mean, you can short a lot. If you need just to control a little bit your circulating liquidity, I see a lot of different mechanisms to do it. I don't need even just to bring some pain to the voters and to raise more interest rates. Even that's cool for some banks, obviously. It takes a little bit. They need a little bit of powers to adapt, but it's not that bad. By taking into account all these facts, and they are facts, just check it. Basel III, Fed now in July. BNY, or New York Mellon Bank, the biggest one in New York, who is involved in crypto, is leading the CBDC pilot project, and also provides the custodian services for BlackRock. Oh, did I mention that Mellon was the big owner of BlackRock with almost 25% or something? Maybe it's just another conspiracy or just theory. But everything is bullish. Because absolutely everything is bullish. We are celebrating it. Yes, yes. And I see it coming. I see it coming. When the first, I'm doing this analysis, and I guess in a few weeks someone will make a statement or something, and people will start to say, mass adoption, that's it, we are, I bought my bitcoins at 40k and I'm going to be billionaire. You know what I think about the space. It's extremely infantile. We are just ignoring every single fact that's there. Every single one. I mean, to use an asset like Bitcoin with the CBDC, it's just pain in the ass. It is just really pain in the ass. So yeah, you can have your bitcoins on my bank, but you need just a deposit of CBDCs at the same time. What the hell? And people will say, yeah, but it doesn't matter because Bitcoin is decentralized. Slap right, slap left. So what I'm saying to you is, you can start to turn off your shirt, your pants, and just to try to get your soap from the floor. Because I guess they will surprise you. The Fed will surprise you. BlackRock will surprise you. New York Mellon will surprise you. And I guess a lot more will surprise you. But they will not surprise me. In my opinion, shit. And that explains now a lot of things. That explains the IMF 180 degrees flip, what they did. Oh, wow, we shouldn't ban, and Bitcoin isn't that bad. What? Okay. That wasn't just a few months ago you were extremely bearish, but now you are bullish. Okay, something changed. Yeah, it changed because now they are preparing its mechanism to control the whole market. The whole market. And when I'm talking about control, and control is control, a digital asset like the CBDC is control. And sometimes we need this control when it comes to topics like, finance of terrorism. Well, I'm just saying finance of terrorism. What you defined as a group of terrorists is another thing. So maybe in 2-3 years, you will go out to the street and demonstrate for something, and they will just declare you and few more follows as a group of terrorists. You can imagine what will happen then? Just making one example. It's Inspocrypto. Inspocrypto always is, giving you some, dropping just a little drop of water. So it's not that thing. But, it could happen, right? It could happen. I see that every single day. Sometimes you think, oh man, it's a big bang. We are working with Bank of America, Goldman, and others. How can they make such a failure, such a mistake? It doesn't make sense. Now imagine it's your account. They will make such a mistake. Go and call Fed. Hey Fed, I can't pay anything. My account, I don't know what happened to my money. You would say, yeah, I'm just an agent, I don't know, I will open a ticket. In the next 30 days or years, I don't know, you will receive a feedback. Is that our future? Maybe. But is that bullish? For Inspo not. So I would be, yeah, celebrate. I'm absolutely bullish on happiness. If you are happy, I'm happy. But please be realistic. Please, okay? Check all the data, check all the things. I mean, IMF doing, interest in central bank digital currencies pick up in Latin America, blah, 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 blah. Why crypto use varies? CBDCs is well designed? Of course they are well designed. You are part of the designer team. But for crypto assets to safely remain part of the payment system, they need to be regulated. They are changing, guys. They are changing. And when these institutions are changing, something is in the air. Make your questions, look for the answers. That's the key. Big love. Let us go forward.